Hey, what's up, guys? Yolity Siri back with another video. So today we're going to talk about cannabis and anxiety. Okay, so I've noticed that over the years as weed has gotten a lot stronger, people have mentioned that when they smoke high THC strains, they'll get panic attacks or become really paranoid, get anxiety, loss of self-confidence, stuff like that. Well, okay, so that's true, but it's not for the reasons that people like to blame. People like to blame the weed itself. Now, it's not the weed's fault, man. Let me explain to you this. I'm just looking at my notes real quick. So, I've encountered this before. Whenever I would smoke pot for a while, I would get terrible anxiety, panic attacks. I'd get really paranoid. I thought I was possessed sometimes when I'd smoke. I'd lose self-confidence. I'd get really socially awkward in front of people that I was smoking with. Yeah, man, just and I was blaming the weed, man. I was like, "Oh my god, dude. Like, am I going to have to quit smoking now?" Because this didn't always used to happen, but I realized something. It was correlated with my spiritual awakening. I had my spiritual awakening, and this is when weed started to really become different for me. It became more of a psychedelic experience whenever I would smoke. I felt like it would enhance a lot of things that were going on with me. Why I believe that happens is because I believe that when you smoke and you become high from cannabis, that you experience an ego death. And when that happens, you're forced into this process of self-examination. All your dark secrets that your psyche has been suppressing are now brought forth because, as we know, cannabis merges your conscious and your subconscious brain, parts of your brain. So it forces you to get into contact with all these things you've been burying, maybe your shadow self, which are the darker aspects of you, the things we struggle with, maybe depression, anxiety, intrusive thoughts that we might have if you have OCD, or just anything, man. Anything that you've buried deep inside your subconscious, things that have hurt you in the past. Well, cannabis forces you to examine these things. It forces them into the light, and now you have to examine them and see them and realize that you're feeling anxious right now because you are afraid of what you might find. Like, some people don't like to smoke alone, but that's exactly why, because they're faced with all these things. It's like your greatest fears. Bob Marley, he has a great quote. It says, "When you smoke the herb, it reveals you to yourself." I truly support and believe that. All right. Now let's see. Okay. I noticed that when I would smoke cannabis and I would feel anxious, it was because my abilities to perceive were heightened and brought into the light. It forced my third eye open. I was forced to see and feel energy. I was forced to read people's thoughts and emotions and energy. I was forced to see ghosts and spirits and other sorts of beings out there. Communicating with cats, insects, trees, you name it, man. So I encountered a lot of anxiety when when I started to encounter these abilities that were suppressed and that cannabis brought into light. And I realized that breathing and meditation is key when you suffer this anxiety induced from cannabis. You have to remember that it is part of the healing. Cannabis is a healing herb. It has been for thousands of years. It's healing you. So you've got to meditate, and you've got to face these demons. Not even demons, but face these fears that are coming into light head on, man. And make some progress instead of further suppressing them. And if you don't suffer cannabis-induced anxiety, then I'd say that energetically you're in good shape. Because smoking herb is going to reveal you to yourself. And if you're not freaking out when you're high by yourself, then you're like, okay, well, I'm good. I'm good. I am aware of all these things that are being presented to me, and I'm not afraid of them. So you're in good shape. But the anxiety means that you need to face some things. So breathing and meditation. Just take deep breaths in through your nose. Out through your mouth. Hold it in for a couple seconds, you know what I mean? Like 2 or 3 seconds. Whatever's comfortable for you. Just in through your nose. Out through your mouth. It's that easy. Meditation. You want to close your eyes and you want to just focus on your breathing. Just do that, man. Just breathe. Cross your legs, keep your back straight, and just breathe. Sometimes it helps to lean up against a wall or like sit on a couch where your back is supported and meditate like that. That's what I do. It's just more comfortable, you know, until you get better, and you can just do it sitting, maybe on a pillow or something to support your tailbone better. So breathing and meditation is key when you're having one of these episodes, man. And remember, if you feel like you are possessed at any point, it's because you're possessed by Mary Jane. You have a plant spirit inside of you. It's the spirit of healing. It's cannabis. It's Mary Jane. That's the spirit. Okay? Remember that. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is why I believe that cannabis can help schizophrenic people. I believe I might have talked about this in one of my previous videos, but I mentioned how one of my good friends was schizophrenic and how he and I would smoke a lot together. He mentioned how it helped his anxiety. Schizophrenic people suffer from a lot of anxiety and panic attacks, stuff of that nature, due to the fact of the hallucinations that they might encounter. They can be quite alarming. They see a lot of crazy shit. They hear voices. They see people's faces melt. You know, shit like that. It's like being stuck on a fucking acid trip or something. But that's their life. You know, they might, if they're a paranoid schizophrenic, they might be afraid that people are pursuing them and that, you know, people are out to get them. Even their closest friends and family members, they have trouble trusting them because they think that they may be secret agents or something coming to get them. And I'm not trying to make fun of this, but it's the fucking reality of it, man. So whenever my friend would smoke, he said that his anxiety was much better. But here's the thing about my friend, okay? And this goes on to my next topic. Antipsychotic drugs are fucking bogus, man. Bogus. Why? Let me tell you why, okay? Antipsychotics shrink your brain. They literally make your brain shrink in size, okay? Now my friend, he was on LSD and he had an intense trip. I'm talking, he said that he met the creator. He said he met God. He told his mom that he met God, okay? That's just the only way he could describe it. He said he met God. And he told her about all the things that he was experiencing while tripping. He was in this spiritual ecstasy. He felt like he'd found the truth, discovered some things. Well, he told his mother all this, and she fucking had him Baker acted. And they decided to diagnose him with schizophrenia. This was a normal boy, normal guy. They decided to diagnose him with schizophrenia. He got on those antipsychotics, and he turned into a totally different person, man. I'm talking, this boy spaced out now. Fucking, you know, sometimes you have to call his name like 5 times before he'll even respond to you. You know, whenever he and I would smoke together, he would just stay quiet for hours, and I would have to be like, hey man, hey man, hey man, hey man, hey man, and then he'd respond. And just, you can tell that this man is going through something. He's a very spiritually gifted individual, a medium, you know. He communicate with spirits and draw symbols, and man, he knew things that were so secret and deep and dark, and these fucking pills were damaging him and shrinking his brain, corrupting his beautiful mind. I believe that when the government comes into contact with these gifted people, such as, okay, he got Baker acted and they sent him to the loony bin, right? Well, these doctors and shit are trained to take these spiritually gifted individuals and put them on these antipsychotics, label them schizophrenic, because it suppresses their abilities, and it comes in between them standing up against the system and really bringing forth the light of there being something else besides Christianity and Islam and Judaism. This is just some food for thought, guys. I thought I would share this because I know a lot of people encounter anxiety in cannabis, man. Just remember, it's revealing you to yourself, and if you're getting anxious while you're smoking weed, it's because you've got some shit that you need to take care of. Don't stop smoking weed. Keep smoking it and use it as a tool for self-reflection. You can really get places. You can become healthy. Seriously. Just don't think about it as, oh my god, I'm so anxious, I'm freaking out, I'm having a panic attack because of this weed. No, man, you gotta realize, hey, I'm freaking out because deep dark secrets within my subconscious mind are being brought to the surface, and I need to face them. I need to be strong, I need to face them, and I need to grow as an individual. I need to heal. Cannabis, the healing herb. Alright, y'all, I'm out.